family. Inside each little assigned space, they have benches, fire pits.
You can look real quick if you need to.
Benches, beds, and fire pits.
Good girl.
They also had sleeping stalls.
Talk about the Chiefs.
What?
The Chiefs.
If the chief built the longhouse, then he was the one who assigned all the rooms, so like the little space. And if another person other than the chief built the house, he got to assign all the rooms only to his family.
Wow. Okay.
The landscape was hilly. There's a lot of forests, and in those forests was a lot of moss. If you can see my house, it even has moss growing on the roof. This was good because it kept the rain out in the rainy season. It had a really long rainy season, and it kept the heat in during the winters. It had really harsh winters. And the landscape had a lot of cliffs, and it had a lot of rivers. And in cliff and rivers put together is a waterfall. And so right here is a waterfall. This is meant to be the Columbia River, if you're wondering. They also had mountains, but not too many mountains. The mountains had a lot of snow on them, so it would be perfect to go skiing on. Then the Native Americans ate. I'm gonna save the best for last, just like the totem poles. The Native Americans ate. They ate mostly three things. So they ate deer, which was important because the deer you could either just eat the deer how it is and cook it, or you could skin the deer, use the skin to make clothes, and then eat the stuff that's not the skin.
Great.
And they also ate candlefish. Candlefish got its name because you can use the oil on the fish to make candles. I forgot to mention that in my paragraph.
It's okay. That's a perfect thing to tell the class.
Okay.
Perfect.
You could eat it in a lot of ways. You could just eat it how it is. You could take out the oil and dry the fish and then eat it. Or you could dry the fish, collect the oil in a little dish, and then eat the fish using the oil to dip the fish in. They also had just all types of fish, mostly salmon. Fish was very important to them because it was 80% of their diet out of 100.
That's a lot.
The woman also collected wild game, berries, and roots for their tribes to eat if they're getting tired of fish and meat. And the men got the meat that I just told you about, the fish, with nets, spears, and arrows. The women got the roots, berries, and wild game by picking the berries, using sticks and nets, and smaller nets, not like huge big fishing nets. Finally, I'm going to talk about totem poles. These are very important to the Northwest Coast culture. You get the paint by collecting berries, flowers, and leaves, and you smash it in, pound it in with the oil from salmon fish eggs. This creates easy application on the totem poles. The totem poles carving process improved after contact with the Europeans and the introduction of metal to their tribes. Blue, they like using blue on their totem poles, the color blue. They got it from copper salts. Blue stood for sincerity and happiness and is used for lakes, rivers, and skies. The animal I'm going to tell you about is a wolf. A wolf is a great animal. It stands for loyalty, success, and is a teacher. It is a survivalist, and it heals humans that are sick. It doesn't seem like a wolf in the real world, but that's what the Native Americans believed. So that is my presentation on what? I know.
Okay.
That is my presentation on Northwest Coast Native Americans. Does anybody have any questions?